How you doing, guys? No, it's been a while since I've been out here. Been a kind of a rough few months. Kind of took a break from the YouTube thing. It's just amazing how a work environment can change in a matter of a few months from a very relaxing atmosphere to a completely toxic and draining atmosphere. Funny thing is, I haven't changed jobs. I'm still working the same place I have for the last 4 years, but with a corporate takeover, it's like it's the same place, and yet it's not. Everything around me is new. All the people are new, and I'm working with totally new environment. And that's something we all have in common. We've all had a good work atmosphere, and we've all had those toxic, draining atmospheres that do nobody any good. Now, for those of us who have worked in the happy atmosphere, you could work a double. You could work an 80-hour, 70, 60-hour work week. And although you're tired at the end of the week, you still have a smile on your face. Yeah, you're going to take a couple days off. You got a few days off coming, and you leave work. Yeah, I'll talk to you in a few days. You guys have a good one. And you go home. You relax. You're not stressed out. You go back to work. Yeah, you're still physically tired from that brutal week you had the work week before, but you do it again. Change that to the stressful and draining and toxic atmosphere of now a corporate setting. We're going in to work is draining. Nothing even has to be said or done. We all have those toxic, draining atmospheres where they like to keep you teetering. They like to keep you stressed out. They like to keep you wound up. By the way, I'm at an age right now where no, you're not going to get me wound up. I'll just hit the road. But we all know that they can be draining. You can work half the time and be more so tired and stressed and wound up. And you go home. Now, the advantage is when you go home, you are now the king of your castle. Work stays in work. Your coworkers don't bother you. Your boss doesn't or shouldn't bother you. And you can unwind. What happens is when the toxic work environment gets to this point that is completely stressful, it's now affecting your moods at home. So you either one of two things, bite the bullet and keep putting up with it and let your mood drop further and further and further. And let's face it, when you get stressed up and wound up, you just don't feel so good. Or you finally say frig it and move on. Or you're fired. So chances are they keep you on the threat of firing all the time that keeps you teetering. And this is basically where the stress is coming from. For the most part, no, they're not going to fire you, but they want you to think that. At this stage of my life, these tactics don't work, especially as I get older. And the people that you are now working under were in diapers when you were, say, 20 years into the workforce. They lack that experience, but the only tactic that they know is how to keep people wound up. But like I said, when you go home, you're the king of your castle. Funny thing is, when you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and as time goes by, and you start seeing through all the bullshit, the kingdom halls can be just as toxic and as draining as that workplace. The only difference is when you go home, you're no longer the king of your castle. You get to a point where you're realizing that the Jehovah's Witnesses in your congregation can be very draining people, as a lot of them are toxic people. The environment is toxic. Everything you're hearing is toxic. Okay, you want a few weeks away. I just got to get out of here for a while, clear my head. So you go home. Doesn't work like it works in the workplace. See, even in the workplace, you get a vacation. Not so when you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses. When you go home, they start to notice right away that, I missed you at the meeting last week. And it doesn't even take a few days before you start getting or the phone, or they come visit you at work. No, there is no privacy. See, Jehovah's Witnesses have no respect for you at home. You have no privacy. See, if you insist on having your privacy, what they'll tell you is you're isolating yourself. Excuse me, you're not going to follow me into the shit house. But they will. They will not leave you alone. And this in itself can get very, very draining. What? What? Oh, don't bump your head. Anyways, puppy. But they have no respect. And this is why it's always good to have a dog. Because most Jehovah's Witnesses are terrified of dogs. Come on, come on, come on. Go, 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 go. Yes, yes, I know. I'm taking you for a walk, but not now. Not now. I'm having a tug of war, guys. And the unfortunate thing is, I had one Bible stalker by the name of Jeff Jenkins who was up my ass constantly. Now, this was a guy that not only would he harass me at home, sneak around my house when I was at work, pester me at work, pick a fight with me at work, even though I told him you need to leave, I'm going into work. This idiot, this pustule, had absolutely no respect for anyone's privacy. I heard more times, I'm isolating myself. No, I also have a private life which you people are not part of. No, they don't accept that. I had to change my job 3 times because they would not leave me alone. And that includes the current job I had. Matter of fact, they finally stopped bothering me at work when I started uploading videos, and that's what it took. But the best thing to do, if you are one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and puppy, would you leave the leash alone? And you're starting to feel that. Now, this is done intentionally to keep your mood down. See, the corporate setting is much the same way. It makes people more controllable, keep them teetering, keep them afraid of being fired, keep them afraid of being disfellowshipped. But the stress out, toxic atmosphere is no good for anybody. Get away from it. If you're starting to realize that the Kingdom Hall, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Watchtower teachings are a lie, you owe them nothing. They have the power that you give them. Take it back. You don't owe them a disassociation letter. You owe them nothing. You don't have to show up for a judicial hearing. Face it, they're not paying you. You do not work for them. You owe them nothing. It's not like putting your 2 weeks' notice in at a job. You simply want to leave. All you have to do is get up and walk away. Will they pester you? Yes. But you can get legal about that too. That's all you have to do is get away. Get away from the toxic environment. Get away from those stressful people. Because the thing is, it's going to drain your mood. And when your mood starts draining, you physically start feeling ill. And it starts showing. Now, I'm a pretty easygoing guy right now. I used to be a hothead when I was younger, yell and scream. Right now, my advantage for most people is that I don't display anger even when I am angry. Like I said, my fuse is very long these days. So they're never quite sure what I'm thinking, and that's been my advantage for some time. Now, the current workplace, I haven't dealt with this in quite a few years, but my current workplace is a very stressful one, very toxic one. All my coworkers feel the same way about it. But I pretty much keep to myself. My attitude is, if you're going to fire me, don't threaten to. Just do it, and I'll move on. Eventually, what's going to end up happening is I'm just going to go somewhere else. This close to retirement, and this twisting thing doesn't work anymore. It didn't work when I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses because I just packed up and I left. Yeah, they did pursue me, and that didn't last too long. But you owe Watchtower nothing. They have no hold over you. You're feeling pretty crappy because all Jehovah's Witnesses are. You're not happy. Now, the only reason you are happy is because they tell you repeatedly you're the happiest people on the planet when no, you are not. Get up and go. You don't owe them anything. Anyways, guys, I will be back. I did need to take a little break from YouTube, but I will be back soon. I'd appreciate your comments, and if you hadn't already subscribed to this channel, hit that notification button. I will talk to you guys soon. You have a good day. Now I gotta go take the dog out.